Have you ever wondered how your favorite ketchup is made? Welcome to the world of this beloved condiment, a global favorite that has its roots deep in history. Ketchup, a staple in many households, originated centuries ago. It's a fascinating tale that takes us from ancient China, where a fish-based sauce called ketchup was first concocted, to the modern tomato-based delight we know and love today. Throughout the years, ketchup has evolved and been embraced by cultures worldwide. This tangy, sweet condiment has found its way into our hearts and onto our plates, adding a delightful punch to everything from fries to gourmet recipes. Its universal appeal is undeniable. From the bustling streets of New York to the vibrant food stalls in Bangkok, ketchup reigns supreme as a top-tier condiment. But what goes into the making of ketchup? How do those ripe tomatoes transform into the thick, rich sauce we adore? Well, prepare yourself for a journey of discovery. Let's dive into the fascinating process of how ketchup is made. The first step to making ketchup is gathering the right ingredients. It all starts with the star of the show, tomatoes. We need ripe, juicy tomatoes to give our ketchup that fresh, tangy taste. Next, we have vinegar. This is what gives ketchup its characteristic tang and helps preserve it. Then we come to sugar. A little bit of sweetness is essential to balance out the acidity of the tomatoes and vinegar. Of course, we can't forget salt. Just a pinch will do, enhancing the flavors and acting as another preservative. Finally, we have the spices. This is where you can get creative. Some ketchup recipes call for spices like onion and garlic powder, celery salt, and even a touch of cinnamon. Each spice adds a layer of complexity to the mix, giving our ketchup its unique flavor profile. Now that we have our ingredients, it's time to start the cooking process. The heart of every ketchup bottle is the tomato. This vibrant, juicy fruit, yes, it's a fruit, not a vegetable, is the star of the show, the main character in our culinary saga. But not just any tomato will do. The secret to a sumptuous ketchup lies in the ripeness of the tomatoes. You see, ripe tomatoes are sweeter, more flavorful, and have a richer color. They have basked under the sun, soaking up its warmth, and in the process they have developed a depth of flavor that unripe tomatoes simply lack. So we begin with our carefully selected ripe tomatoes. It's time to transform these sun-kissed fruits into the base for our ketchup. First, we wash them thoroughly, ridding them of any dirt or impurities. Once they're clean, we chop them up into quarters. This makes it easier for them to break down during the cooking process. Now comes the fun part, cooking the tomatoes. We put them in a large pot and apply heat. The heat breaks down the cell walls of the tomatoes, releasing their juices and softening their flesh. We let them simmer, stirring occasionally to prevent them from sticking to the bottom of the pot. As the tomatoes cook, they start to break down into a pulp. This is the stage we're aiming for. We want the tomatoes to lose their shape, to become a soft, soupy mixture. This process takes time and patience, but it's well worth the wait. The aroma wafting through the air is tantalizing, isn't it? The sweet, tangy scent of cooking tomatoes is a sensory delight, a promise of the delicious ketchup that's to come. And there you have it. Our tomatoes are cooked down to a pulp, ready to be transformed into ketchup. They've lost their individual identities, becoming a cohesive, uniform mixture. This is the heart of our ketchup, the foundation upon which we'll build the rest of the flavors. With the tomatoes cooked down, we move on to the next step, adding the other ingredients. Now it's time to add the sweetness and spice that make ketchup so irresistible. We've simmered our tomatoes down to a lovely pulp. It's a vibrant red base full of potential. But it's not ketchup yet. That transformation begins with the addition of vinegar. Vinegar gives ketchup its distinctive tang, an acidic bite that balances out the sweetness of the tomatoes. Carefully measure out the vinegar and stir it into the tomato pulp. Next on our list is sugar. Sugar is what gives ketchup its sweet side. It's a counterpoint to the acidity of the tomatoes and vinegar, creating a harmonious blend of flavors. Again, measure out the sugar with care and mix it into your concoction. Watch as the sugar dissolves into the mixture, imbuing it with a deeper sweetness. But we're not done yet. Ketchup needs a bit of saltiness too. Just a dash of salt will do. Don't overdo it. We want the salt to enhance the other flavors, not overpower them. Stir the salt in, ensuring it's evenly distributed throughout the mixture. And now for the final touch, the spices. This is where you can let your creativity shine. Traditional ketchup recipes often include spices like onion powder, garlic powder, and a hint of cayenne, but feel free to experiment. Try adding a bit of paprika for a smoky touch, or a pinch of cinnamon for a subtle warmth. Whatever you choose, mix in your spices thoroughly, letting them infuse the mixture with their unique flavors. With every ingredient added, you'll see your plain tomato pulp transform. It becomes richer, deeper, more complex. It becomes ketchup. It's a magical process, watching these simple ingredients come together to create something so much more than the sum of its parts. Take a moment to appreciate this transformation. Stir your mixture one last time, ensuring everything is fully combined. Take a deep breath and savor the aroma. It's a scent that's both familiar and comforting. It's the smell of homemade ketchup. With all the ingredients mixed in, it's time to let our ketchup cook. Patience is key when making ketchup. That's what we're embracing as we enter the next phase of our ketchup creation journey. The magic of ketchup doesn't lie just in its ingredients, but also in how they're treated. And that's where slow cooking comes into the picture. Slow cooking, my friends, is a culinary technique that's as old as time, yet it holds a special place in our modern kitchens. Slow cooking the ketchup mixture is essential as it allows the flavors to meld together, creating a symphony of taste that's hard to replicate. Picture this, the sweetness of the tomatoes, the tang of the vinegar, the warmth of the spices, all coming together in a slow, simmering dance. It's a process that can't be rushed. Each ingredient needs time to shine, to share its essence with the rest and to absorb the flavors of its peers. After the slow cooking process, the mixture might not look very ketchup-like yet, but don't worry, we're on the right track. The next step is to blend this flavor-packed concoction until it's smooth. Blending breaks down the solids, transforming our chunky mixture into a velvety, pourable delight. It's like watching a caterpillar metamorphose into a butterfly, except this butterfly is delicious and destined for your fries. As you blend, you'll notice the color deepening, the texture smoothing out, and the aroma becoming even more tantalizing. This is the moment when our ketchup really starts to resemble the familiar condiment we all know and love. It's a rewarding sight, knowing that you've taken simple ingredients and turned them into something truly special. And there you have it. Our ketchup, once a medley of distinct ingredients, has now been slow cooked and blended into a harmonious blend of flavors. It's a beautiful testament to the power of patience and the art of cooking. With our ketchup cooked and blended, we're almost at the finish line. Stay tuned as we're about to dive into the final stages of our ketchup creation adventure. The final step in making ketchup is bottling and preservation. We've come a long way from gathering ripe tomatoes and cooking them down to a flavorful pulp, adding in a medley of spices and blending everything into a smooth, tangy concoction. Now it's time to store this delicious creation for future use. This is where bottling and preservation come in, ensuring that our ketchup retains its freshness and flavor for a good length of time. Bottling might seem like a simple process of filling up bottles with ketchup, but it's a bit more involved than that. We start by sterilizing the bottles. This is crucial in preserving the quality of the ketchup. Sterilizing eliminates any bacteria, yeast, or molds that might be present in the bottles, which could spoil the ketchup. The bottles are usually sterilized by being submerged in boiling water for a certain period of time or being run through a hot cycle in a dishwasher. So the next time you squeeze that bottle of ketchup onto your fries, consider the journey it's taken. A careful selection of ripe tomatoes, diligently cooked and infused with a blend of spices. Then a meticulous process of blending and bottling. It's an art that requires precision, patience, and a passion for flavor. Each bottle is a testament to the culinary craftsmanship that transforms simple ingredients into this beloved condiment. Remember, it's more than just a condiment, it's a culinary masterpiece.